Imagine taking one of the most recognizable names in automotive history and dropping it into a completely different era, not as a museum piece, not as a nostalgic throwback, but as a bold, futuristic machine designed to make everyone stop and look. That's exactly what makes the 2027 Ford Model T so fascinating. It takes the spirit of Ford's earliest icon and reimagines it through the lens of modern luxury, technology, and performance. Welcome back to Imaginary Motors. Today we're taking a close look at the 2027 Ford Model T, a dramatic reinterpretation of the legendary nameplate that could completely change the way we think about retro-inspired automobiles. At first glance, the design immediately tells you that this isn't an ordinary modern car. The silhouette carries a clear connection to the Model T's historic proportions, but almost every surface has been transformed. The body looks cleaner, lower, and more sculpted, creating that rare combination of vintage character and futuristic confidence. Up front, the 2027 Model T makes its presence known with a face that feels instantly recognizable without looking old-fashioned. The lighting signature is slim and precise, stretching across the front with a modern interpretation of classic automotive detailing. Instead of relying on excessive decoration, the design uses carefully shaped surfaces, a wide stance, and strong visual symmetry to create an unmistakable identity. And then there's the grille. It feels like a bridge between two generations of automotive design. The classic inspiration is still there, but the execution is dramatically more sophisticated. Modern detailing surrounds the central section, while the lighting elements give the front end a technological edge. It's the kind of face that looks equally convincing under city lights or sitting outside a modern glass showroom. Move around to the side, and the proportions become even more interesting. The long flowing body creates a sense of motion even when the vehicle is standing still. The wheel arches are pronounced without becoming aggressive, while the clean shoulder line gives the body a premium appearance. The wheels themselves play a huge role in the character of the vehicle. Large, beautifully finished wheels fill the arches and give the Model T a planted stance. They don't simply look oversized for attention. They help create the impression that this classic-inspired machine belongs on a modern highway, just as much as it belongs in an automotive design studio. From the rear, the transformation continues. The tail section combines rounded influences from the past with sharp modern lighting. The rear lamps appear integrated into the body rather than simply attached to it, creating a cleaner visual signature. The overall effect is elegant, distinctive, and surprisingly futuristic. But the biggest surprise may be what happens when you open the doors. Inside, the 2027 Ford Model T becomes something completely different. The cabin blends heritage-inspired design with a modern luxury atmosphere. Premium materials, carefully shaped surfaces, and a minimalist dashboard create an environment that feels sophisticated without becoming unnecessarily complicated. The seats are designed around comfort, with supportive contours and generous space for long journeys. Soft-touch materials surround the cabin, while metallic accents and subtle detailing add a sense of craftsmanship. Then your attention moves toward the technology. A wide digital display becomes the centerpiece of the dashboard, providing access to navigation, vehicle controls, entertainment, and information. The interface feels clean and intuitive, while the cabin itself remains visually calm. That balance is important because the best technology shouldn't make a vehicle feel like a computer on wheels. It should make the driving experience easier. Connectivity would naturally be a major part of the experience. With smartphone integration, wireless features, voice controls, and intelligent vehicle settings, creating a cabin that feels ready for the next generation of drivers. And let's talk practicality. Despite the dramatic styling, the Model T is designed to feel usable in everyday life. There's room for passengers, useful storage throughout the cabin, and enough cargo flexibility to make weekend trips or daily driving far more convenient than the exterior might suggest. Now here's where things get really interesting. Performance. The 2027 Ford Model T brings a modern approach to power, delivering the kind of smooth acceleration and responsive performance you would expect from a contemporary Ford flagship. The powertrain is designed around instant response, effortless cruising, and confident road manners rather than simply chasing numbers. Step on the accelerator, and the vehicle feels eager without becoming difficult to control. Power delivery is smooth, the chassis feels composed, and the suspension works to keep the cabin comfortable while maintaining stability through corners. That creates an interesting driving personality. The Model T isn't trying to behave like an old automobile. It carries the emotional character of its predecessor while delivering the confidence of a modern machine. On the highway, that means relaxed cruising and a sense of stability. Around town, the elevated seating position and modern driver assistance technology make the vehicle easier to manage. And when the road starts to twist, the wide stance and carefully balanced chassis give the Model T a more engaging character than its retro appearance might suggest. But what would you choose if you were behind the wheel? Would you want the Model T to stay faithful to its historic personality? Or would you push Ford to take the futuristic approach even further? Let me know your answer in the comments, because this is exactly the kind of vehicle that can start a serious automotive debate. Safety is another major part of the experience. Advanced driver assistance features are designed to provide additional awareness during everyday driving, helping monitor surrounding traffic and supporting the driver in situations where extra attention can make a difference. Modern cameras, sensors, intelligent alerts, and automated assistance work together to create a more confident driving environment. And that makes the 2027 Ford Model T especially appealing to a very specific kind of buyer. It's for someone who loves automotive history but doesn't want to live in the past. Someone who wants a vehicle with personality instead of another anonymous shape in a parking lot. Someone who appreciates classic design but expects modern comfort, technology, safety, and performance. That combination is what gives the Model T its real appeal. It isn't simply about bringing an old name back. It's about taking a piece of automotive history and asking what it could become if designers were given the freedom to start again. And honestly, that's what makes this vehicle so exciting. If Ford can capture the emotional connection of the original Model T while delivering the refinement expected from a modern automobile, this could become one of the most memorable retro-inspired vehicles of its generation. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to Imaginary Motors, because there are plenty more extraordinary automotive stories waiting just around the corner. The 2027 Ford Model T represents something bigger than nostalgia. It represents the possibility that the future of automotive design may not always mean forgetting the past, but reinventing it in a way nobody saw coming.